All right, the New York Giants. Reasons for optimism for the Giants. Last year was real, Sam. It was all real, right? Brian Daboll comes in, Joe Shane at GM, but Daboll showed the team how to win, and they can only go up from here. They won a playoff game, right? They were one game away from the NFC Championship. They're getting over that. They're going to move forward. They're going to move past that. They locked up Daniel Jones because he deserved it, because he was a great runner and he executed that offense. He had one of the best playoff games of all time against the Minnesota Vikings of all time. And the Giants, their aggressive defense, it's not crazy, it's aggressive. Their aggressive defense, their difficult to stop offense because of Daniel Jones, Saquon Barkley, what they can do creatively in the run game, and the fact that they already know how to win. They're going to know how to win even more this year in New York.
Okay. I think they've added smartly, intelligently from a year ago. They had a lot of weaknesses despite the success that they had last season. So a lot like the Bengals from a couple of years ago, they didn't just think that everything was great because they were able to overcome those. They targeted those weaknesses. John Michael Schmitz in the second round was a phenomenal draft pick, a guy that we were mocking to them all the way through in the first round. A lot of other people were as well. More additions to the receiving core, the kind of skill position players. Darren Waller is a great gamble. Even if it doesn't work out, we know his ceiling is through the roof. Wan'Dale Robinson, they barely saw anything of because of injuries. They should actually see what he can do. Jalen Hyatt in the third round, I think, was a really good value pick as well, because even if he is only a one-dimensional deep threat from the slot, that's really valuable in the NFL. Like, that will scare defenses and cause them to play the game in a certain shell of coverages. They can't go to other things because otherwise it's an immediate touchdown. Evan Neal, if he takes a step forward, we already saw Andrew Thomas get better in year 2 or 3. Evan Neal was a top draft pick, a tackle. If he takes a step, that offensive line immediately goes from liability to, that might be okay. Maybe 1 weak link out of 5 instead of 3 or 4 out of 5. And Deontay Banks, a corner. Like, that's the perfect corner for this Wink Martindale type of defense where these guys are out on an island, mirroring corners one-on-one all day long. Adoree Jackson, Amani Oruwariye coming in as well. Oruwariye, I think, is a player that suits this type of defensive scheme. So I think that they have targeted a bunch of their weaker areas and improved them across the board if those players hit.
I don't really want to mention it on the Optimism Show. I'm sure I will when we preview the season, but there's a chance, just an outside chance, that the Giants are a much better team this year, and it might not show up in the record. I'm not saying that here on the Optimism Show, because it will show up in the record, and they'll be in the NFC Championship and beyond in New York. But I'm just saying, like, everything that you just laid out there, I like a lot of what the Giants are doing from a roster standpoint.